Look, this is a pretty serious matter for all of us because, we've always had the policy in principle that sanctions can be imposed by the United Nations Security Council and then we will observe them. But individual countries observing sanctions or imposing sanctions is not recognizable in international law. At the same time, we have to function in the real world. We have to be aware of what the costs and consequences are of challenging or defying certain kinds of sanctions. So, for example, the US of late has sanctioned Venezuela, sanctioned Iran, sanctioned Russia, and to a greater or lesser degree at different times, we have found ourselves cooperating or seeking exceptions on a bilateral basis. And I think we'll have to talk to the Americans about all this. The honest truth is that Iran is a neighbor. And for us, our attitude to Iran is very different from that of a country like the US that is so far away that they don't need anything from Iran or they don't need to trade with Iran. They can afford to sanction it. If tomorrow there are sanctions on Sri Lanka or a neighboring country like that, we would also have a problem in honoring such sanctions. So I think some dialogue will have to take place. The other problem in any case is that with 50% tariffs, things are already unviable. At 75%, nobody from India will be able to export to America anymore. So these are all questions that our government will have to look at very carefully.
So when you look at the actions of the United States and Venezuela, we see the economic policies that they've undertaken. How do you think this threatens the rules-based order that this world is?
I think the rules are not being adhered to at all. That's very clear. It's now very much a sort of what used to be called the law of the jungle, that might is right, that prevails. And I think that as one of the speakers today referred to the competition for resources playing itself out through the use of military power, that's one way of seeing it. But it's certainly not the way in which the UN Charter was written or the conduct of states was envisaged. In the old days, the norms were very clear. The UN Charter was sacrosanct, state sovereignty had to be respected, borders were inviolable, and the use of force across borders to settle international disputes was considered inadmissible. Where are those principles? They've been steadily eroded in the last 25 years. As I mentioned, we've had already interventions beyond the authority of the UN Charter in Libya, in Syria, in Iran, in Iraq, in Ukraine, in Gaza, and now, of course, in Venezuela, and who knows what else may happen somewhere else. So is the rules-based international order irrelevant? No. Has it been undermined? Yes. It has been undermined. It is fraying. And as long as dominant powers choose not to observe it. You see, this order, as I explained in my speech, only holds up when the powerful have an interest in holding it up. If they, the very ones who are supposed to uphold the order, if they destroy the order, then of course the rest of us.